this one's gonna come right down to the wire. Hey everyone, welcome back to Andrew's Wizardly Reads, and as always guys, I'm Andrew. Today I got my wrap-up for you. But before we get into that wrap-up, make sure you are liking and subscribing and hitting that bell notification so you can get regular updates for when I put out new content. I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And that's it guys. Today is it's the September 2021 wrap-up, and this is coming straight down to the wire. Like, I will probably be finishing this month within the last few minutes of September. Or they might just continue on. I don't know how this is going to go. But I got a lot of great reading done this month. A lot of new favorites as well. So let's just jump right on into what I read this week. So first of all, let's show you the stack. You know, there's everything that I've completed as of right now. And then here is what I'm working on. I got these two that I'm still currently in the middle of. I'm about 40% through Bloodsong by Anthony Ryan. And guys, I don't know why a lot of people aren't talking about Anthony Ryan. From page 1, this has been amazing. Like, I am going to have a gush review, dedicated review coming out for Bloodsong, because this might be one of the best books I've read all year. And I know I say that a lot, but like, I have so much love for Balin Al-Sorna that I'm gonna have to gush about it. Like, the strumpet's gonna strumpet. Like, if this sticks the landing, I'm already, like, he's already become an autoplay author. Like, I'm already collecting his works. And that's just based off of one book. Like, I couldn't believe how much I enjoyed this. It is a little unreal and, frankly, kind of scary how much I love Bloodsong by Anthony Ryan. So, keep on the lookout for that dedicated review. And then starting today, which today is the 27th of September, and this is why it's going to come straight down to the wire, I'm starting the second book of Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn, which is Stone of Farewell. This is a 780-page book that I am hoping to finish in 3 days. That is a tall order. It is a lot to ask. I am hoping to have this done by the time you watch this video. We will see what happens, though. So keep a lookout for that. Of course, you know, you can always see when I finish a book when it's on if you follow me on Goodreads. So I'll go ahead and have my Goodreads link down below as well. That way, like, I kind of keep my reading updates, kind of just going through Goodreads and stuff like that. But let's get on to what I finished. So I finally read Night Watch by Sir Terry Pratchett. And I'm going to have to do just a Why You Should Read the City Watch Discworld series. Like, 6 books in, this had no right to be as fresh and refreshing and amazing as this book was. Like, it recaptured the it's very rare for a series to recapture the magic of its first book, but guys, like, Night Watch did it, and for that reason I fell head over heels in love with this book. Like, it recaptures the magic of Guards while still being fresh and new and something incredibly interesting. I love this book so much. It is one of the best reads of the year. Frankly, you're going to hear me say that a lot this month because, guys, I had a great reading month. Finally, I read Dune back in November of 2020, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to be a one and done. And then my good friend Patrick, one of the moderators in the Discord, got me all the mass market paperbacks for the Frank Herbert Dune books, and I finally read Dune Messiah. I have been looking forward to continuing Dune for quite a few months, and then Evie gave me the push. She was like, hey, we're doing a buddy read. Do you want to join us? And I was like, you know what? I've got the books. I probably should. And I finally read Dune Messiah. It was a really quick read. I'd give this a solid 3 out of 5, maybe a 3.5 out of 5. Very solid read. I'm not going to be doing a dedicated review for this, but I am going to be in a live show for every Frank Herbert Dune book going, I think, one a month going forward until, of course, we're done with those. So keep a lookout for those. And yeah, it's fantastic. This really turned all the themes in Dune on its head, and so I really enjoyed that. And then, of course, you know that I'm going to talk about a Cradle book. I finally read Skysworn. This is the 4th book? Yeah, this is book 4 in the Cradle series. I am just falling more and more in love with Cradle as I go through. I mean, this was like the platform to launch into the greater series, because I think this is going to be a 12 book series. And I mean, the books aren't that big, so 12 books, it's kind of manageable. It's probably like 3 Stormlight books worth of length. So we'll see what happens. But I really loved it. There was a lot of fun, a lot of new characters, and I'm super excited to be continuing this series. So I believe, do I already have a dedicated review for Skysworn? I think I do. Yeah, I think I've already done a dedicated review for Skysworn. And then coming out here soon is going to be my dedicated review for Arm of the Sphinx. This is the second book in the Books of Babel. I loved Arm of the Sphinx. This took everything in Senlin and then just made it 3 times better. Like, it's just got privateering and survival and more found family and just the exploration of other characters other than Senlin. I really enjoyed this. It made the tower feel more fantastical and more menacing, and just their struggle against adversity and just to live their lives the way they want to without having it dictated to them is fantastic. I love the Books of Babel. I'm super happy I finally picked this up, and I cannot wait to read this series to conclusion in November. So that is Arm of the Sphinx. You should be looking forward to that. It should be out in the next couple weeks. And then, guys, it is, of course, Best Served Cold. I took a long break from the First Law world, and I decided to jump in with Best Served Cold. I believe this is the first book in the standalone trilogy, and I've got a full spoiler discussion on this book. I will go ahead and link it up in the cards if you want to see it. It's more of a full spoiler critique discussion of what worked for me and what didn't work for me. Overall, I really enjoyed the book. I just felt it was a bit on the bloated side. Still really fascinating concepts, great characters. Literally Joe Abercrombie writes characters like nobody else. There's nobody else who can write a character quite like Joe Abercrombie. They just jump off the page. And for that reason, I definitely recommend First Law, but I can understand why people don't love First Law, because you don't really get that cathartic feeling that you get from a lot of reading. And then continuing with the read-along from Library of Alexandria, I read Book 2 of Shadows of the Apt. I think this was like the first book I read this month. And let me tell you what, it was still a solid 4 out of 5. It's a bit unwieldy of a story. I loved it overall. I'm super excited for, I think the third book is Blood of the Mantis. So I'm getting ready to read that in this upcoming month, and I'm really excited for it because, A, it's less page count. So less page count means I can read more books in the month or feel a little less stress while reading. But we just kind of did a whole split the party here thing, and I think there was too many groups going on all over the nation to really focus in, and I kind of got distracted, or if I didn't like that group particularly a whole lot, I would kind of get bored with it until we'd course correct. And it's got great warfare, great sieges, great characters, great magic, great overall everything. I couldn't tell you one thing that I just didn't like about Dragonfly Falling. It's just overall not quite as good as Empire in Black and Gold, in my opinion. But, you know, these things happen. So, another one that I read that I do have a dedicated review filmed, I just need to get it out, and that is going to be The Dark Trials by T. James Kelly. I was sent this by the author as kind of a review copy, and overall, I had no expectations. This is a YA paranormal thriller, and guys, like, it just blew me away. It was a solid 4 out of 5 for me. I am excited to read the second book. I believe the author is sending me that as well. If not, I'm buying it. Like, I enjoyed it enough that I'm buying the next book if it's not already on the way. And guys, it kind of uses the standard YA tropes, but at the same time, like, it's like, okay, they're here, but we're not going to really pay attention to them. Let's get on with the paranormal stuff. And I really, really enjoyed that. Like, it's like, oh, yes, we should, you're so hot and you're a teenager, but I'm kind of haunted right now, so I'm a bit busy. And I just love that. I love that about The Dark Trials. It's fantastic. I highly recommend you, if you like YA, pick it up. If you like paranormal, pick it up. It's not horror, but at the same time, like, there were times in this book where my heart just started racing, and I freaking enjoyed that. It's been so long since a book just made my heart thunder. And it, like, it just got down to business so quick. Like, once we finally get moving, we got moving. So, yeah, I definitely highly recommend The Dark Trials by T. James Kelly. And then, I just finished this yesterday. It is Fool's Fate by Robin Hobb, the end of the Tawny Man trilogy. And whew, this was an experience. Guys, if you're not reading Robin Hobb, read Robin Hobb. I know it's an investment in time. I know it's a whole ass because it's 16 books. But it's sub-series, and you can kind of jump in and jump out and jump in and jump out. It's got great stopping points. This felt like it could have been the end of the entire Realm of the Elderlings. Like, it wraps up super well, where if you just wanted to stop at book 9, you totally could. I've been told that, like, the end of book 16 is even better, which is hard for me to imagine. But I overall I love this. I had a couple complaints. Still a 5 out of 5 read for me. Like, my complaints are just, I felt something could have been, I felt a character would have reacted in a different way. That's really my only critique. That's really my only complaint. But overall, Fool's Fate, 5 out of 5. So good. I do believe we have a live show coming up for this on Megan's channel. I don't know if that'll be this month or next month, but we will definitely see. And then I believe that's all the books I read. So the books I read is 1, 2. This is 800 pages, by the way. This one's 400. I think this one's like 700. Yeah, that one's like around 650. Another 650. That one's like 400. That one's like 300. This was like 250. This was 500. This one's 780. And then this one's 600. So a lot of beefy books got read. But here's everything I've completed at the time of recording. I loved my reading month, guys. It is so good that I am enjoying what I am reading. But that said, guys, that is the end of the wrap-up. This is everything I read. Let me know in the comment section down below what all you read in the month of September 2021. And go ahead and like and subscribe. And check the description down below for the link to the Wizardly Duo Discord. We would love to have you. Or if you want to continue to support the channel, I also have the link to my newly launched Patreon there as well. It is not mandatory, of course, but it is greatly appreciated. And that said, guys, till next time, peace out. Stay magical. Bye. And of course, I want to give a special shout out to my Wizard Master patrons. That is Chris, Patrick, Nico from Nico's Book Reviews, and Sharon Dwyer. Thank you all so very much.